Hello, my name is Mr. Manzke, and today we are going to look at Unit 1, Day 6, Page 1. There are 6 math problems we're going to take a look at. They just want us to either create or measure the following. So we'll start with number 1. First one says draw and label line segment X, Y with a midpoint P. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line segment. Anytime you draw a line segment, it's got to have no arrows. And let's see if we can make that format the shape. And we're going to make the width a little bit bigger so we can see it. So there's our line segment. We need 2 points. So we need an endpoint on the left. And we need a point on the right. Okay, and we need X and Y, so we need X and we need a Y. So I'll make those a little bit bigger so everyone can see them. So there's X. There's Y. Now we got to find the middle. Okay, the middle is going to be here P, so we're going to grab that. This is going to be our P value. So when we draw a midpoint, so there's our point there. Now with that, we have to draw a tick mark on the left side. And we're going to make that bigger. And then we have to do a tick mark. Oops, what happened? Okay, and that didn't work. Okay, so we're going to try the next one. And again, a second tick mark. And that's just going to tell the reader that the two sides are congruent to each other. Okay, so, and that's it. That's all they're asking for. Alright, so that's number 1. Let's take a look at number 2. So we're going to draw and label line segments WX and YZ, where WX is congruent to YZ. So we're going to draw 2 line segments. Remember, line segments don't have any arrows, so here's our first one. Dark. Okay, and then put a dot here. Second dot over here. And this is going to be W and then X. Oops. There's W and there's X. Okay, we're going to do that again one more time, this time for YZ. So we're going to draw a line segment. Okay, there's 2 dots. And we need Y and Z. Okay, and we're going to do tick marks. Again, it doesn't matter if it's just one tick mark, you can do 2 tick marks. There, let's do 1, it doesn't matter. Do 1, 2, 3, just as long as okay. Alright, so that's number 2. Okay, so we're going to draw and label a 70-degree angle whose sides are WX and WY. Alright, so we're going to need a side for an angle. We're going to use a ray for our first one. Make that solid. Make sure we can see it. And then I need a point. Oops. And I need a second ray. Now, you're going to need to take your protractor, and this is the part that's kind of hard to see, but your second ray okay, so if I measure using my protractor, right now it's at 50, and I got to get to 70. So I'm going to be moving this over more. Right now it's at 60. And right now that would be about 75, so let's go down a little bit. And that's 70. There you go. And then we could put the number 70. And put the little degree there, 70 degrees. And let's make that 48. And I didn't want to take, let's try again. Oops, a little too big. And then just move your angle up a little bit. There you go. And then put the angle in there. Oops. Line everything up. And there you go. 70 degrees. Okay. So that's number 3. Oh, and then we got to do the other thing we got to do is we got to label our points. We need 2 more points on shape here. Since they both have a W, we're going to call this W here. And then you have WX and then WY. So we need another point on the segment there. So I'll put X here. And we'll put Y here. And again, you're going to need to make that bigger. Further away. There you go. All right. There's number 4. Okay, so here we're going to find the angle measure and bisect the angle. So if I take my protractor, I put like this, make sure it's on 0. It's kind of hard to see here. But we're looking at 64 is the angle measurement. So we're going to put 64 here. And a little, oops. Oops, a little too big. Okay, so 64 degrees. Now, if we're going to take that number and divide it by 2, if we take 64 and divide it by 2, that'll be 32. So we got to find an angle measurement that's 32. Okay, so it's a little bit above the degree there. So we need insert. We're going to draw shape here. Okay, so we'll make that a little bigger here. Do that for the other two here. And one more time. Okay, now we're going to cut the angle in half. We're going to have to draw some sort of marking system. And then do it one more time over here. And then we have to make a mark here. Tell the reader that this angle is congruent to, oops, sorry. One more tick mark right here. And make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's number 4. Okay, number 5, we're going to draw and label 2 line segments that are perpendicular to each other. So we're going to insert the first line segment. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to insert another one. Now when they bisect each other, they're going to form a right angle. Okay, so let's insert some dots here. Okay, and then we're going to put a little square here. And okay, they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, one more. Okay, we're going to draw 2 line segments that are parallel to each other. So we're going to draw our first line segment. Here's our first one. put some points on there. We're going to label it. And do one more. That point's a little big, but it's all right. And this one's going to be AB. A little too big. So there's A and there's B. We're going to draw a second line segment. And remember, they got to be parallel to each other. They don't have to be congruent to each other, but they do have to be parallel. And this one here is going to, and again, we need 2 points. Here's our first point. Okay, and then what we're going to do there is you're going to have to put some sort of marking on there. And the marking on there has got to be like an arrow of some sort. And let's look to see what option. There you go. And so we'll draw one here. And then we'll do that again down here. And that tells the reader that these 2 line segments are parallel to each other. That little notation. All right. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.